The din in Hilchas Chanukah, the din of lighting the menorah, is an interesting din. It's an interesting mitzvah. We have some mitzvahs which are chivas haguf that you have to do yourself, no one else can do for you, like tefillin. You have to put on tefillin yourself. Someone else can't put on tefillin for you. And then on the other hand, we have other mitzvahs which you could be with someone else. The mezuzah, someone else could put up the mezuzah for you. Someone could blow shofar for you. Someone could read the Megillah for you. The other, which it's not a chivas haguf, it's a chiv on your bias or on your mammon. It's a chiv that has to get done. At Trumas Amaisrei, someone can separate it for you. You don't need to do it yourself. So there's two different categories. What's interesting is when it comes to Adlakas Menorah,
things you can use a shliach.
Right? If it's not chivas haguf, if it's not a chiv on your guf to do on your body, like putting on tefillin, then you can have someone else do it for you. But if it's something like putting on tefillin, someone else can't do it for you. So what's interesting was a little bit vague is lighting the menorah. What type of mitzvah is that? So on one hand, the chayda seems like it's a chivas haguf. On the other hand, we see that you can have people do it for you. The mitzvah is ner isha beisai. One chamor masakin that you have one candle for the whole family. The father, the one person, the leader of the household lights a candle in the house, and everyone else is yetzer. Not only that, but even more so, there's the din of achsenoi that if someone is traveling, he's out of town, and he's staying by someone else's house, he doesn't need a light menorah. So if his wife at home is lighting menorah, so he's yetzer with his wife at home. So he's not even there, but he's yetzer. He could be yetzer with someone else. So maybe there's also the if you can have a shliach light menorah for you. So the chaynim were a little bit confused about this. What's going on? The chayim is a mitzvah on your guf. Why is it? First of all, what is it? Is it chayvus haguf or is it chayv on the bayis? How does it work? What makes things more confusing is that not only there's din that you could be yetzer with someone in your house, but Shulchan Aruch says that brings a shitta that if you're traveling, Shulchan Aruch brings a shitta that if you're traveling and you're yetzer with your wife at home, but in the place where you are, no one lit menorah. You did not see a menorah. So the din is the shitta of the Mordechai, and Chai brings it down that you have to light menorah over there, even though you're yetzer with your wife at home. But you have to light menorah over there because you need to see a menorah and you have to make the bracha.
Wait a second. What's the difference between what you just said a moment ago, that the wife's yotza in a totally different area, and now he's saying no?
Right. So now that's what makes things a little bit confusing. On one hand, we say you're yetzer with your wife. So you're yetzer with your wife. So if you're staying by someone's house and he's lighting menorah, do you need to be mishatif? Do you need to pay a pruta in order to join his lighting? Halacha is if your wife is lighting at home for you, you're pater. You don't need to give a pruta to the person you're staying by his house.
Okay, so what's the difference? Go ahead.
But on the other hand, if you're staying by someone's house by a guy where no one's lighting menorah, lighting menorah over there. So the halacha, there's a shit of the Mordechai that you have to light menorah even though your wife lit for you. Since you do not have a menorah lit where you are, you need to light a menorah to see the menorah. So it's a bit interesting. What's going on? Could you be yetzer or could you not? Are you yetzer with someone else? You need to do it yourself. So we'll see soon. The Aruch HaShulchan says that there's two parts of the mitzvah. There's a mitzvah to light the menorah, and then there's a mitzvah to see the menorah. There's two parts of the mitzvah. So first, let's read the din in the first Ma'amakim in Shulchan Aruch Sim Tavreish Ayin Zayin Sif Aleph. You have the din of Achsinoi. The Mechaber says Achsinoi she'ein matlikin olah bebeisai. People are not lighting for him in his house. Tzarich lasis prutal balabais. He needs to pay the balabais v'hishtatif imei b'shemen shel ner Chanukah in order to be together with him with the money of the ner Chanukah. Fine, that's one din. If he has his own room, his own house where he's staying, he's eating with the balabais, but he's staying in a different house next door. He needs to light the menorah by his door. He can't be yetzer with the balabas. Even though in that house he only sleeps and he eats with the other balabais, with the balabas. Still you have to light with him because you have to light you in the place where you're sleeping because the issue matters ayin. People are going to see that you're staying over there but you're not lighting menorah, and it's an issue. So to a son lighting with his father, even though he could be yetzer with his father, but if he's staying in a separate house, he needs to light in his house because people are going to pass by, they won't see the menorah. And then the Rama brings the Yishayim the Bizman Azeh Shemadlikim Bifnim Mamish Yaltik B'Makim She'echad V'Chinogu. The Rama says, however, that din that you're worried about Maras Ayin was back then when they used to light outside their doors. But nowadays, we light inside the house. We light inside our house. So there's no Chashash Maras Ayin. And where's the main place to light? The main place to light is the place where you eat. So therefore, you don't have to. So this person will light together with the Balapas. He doesn't need to be worried about his house where he sleeps because he doesn't eat there. Fine. That is Sif Aleph. Then in Sif Gimel, in number 2, then we have the contradicting din. So in Din Aleph, first din we saw that you get with your family at home. But then in Sif Gimel it says, even the people light in your house for you. If you're in a place where there are no Yidden, no one's lighting over there, you have to light it with brachis. And the Rama adds on, you're chayiv to see the neiris, quoting from the Mordechai. You're chayiv to see the neiris. So what's going on? On one hand, you can be with your wife at home, on the other hand, you're chayiv to see the neiris. So the Aruch HaShulchan teaches very nicely that there's 2 parts of the mitzvah. There's the mitzvah to see the ner, which that you have to do yourself. You can't be yetzer with someone else. That you have to do on your own. And then on the other hand, there's a chiyuv to light the menorah. Lighting the menorah, you can be yetzer with someone else. That you can be yetzer with someone else with your wife at home. But to see the menorah, that you have to do yourself. The Pesumei Nisa, you have to have some of the Pesumei Nisa. So if the place where you're staying at, they're lighting menorah, you see their menorah, so that's fine. That's good enough. If your wife lit for you at home. So the time.
Through the digital age, it's not being yet. Seeing through the digital age, over this, over television, over whatever.
Seeing a real menorah.
That's right. With your own eyes, not with the digital age.
Right. Saying digital age, you have to be careful with your words when you say this, such a thing. Yeah.
No, I'm saying that like when somebody says, let's say, you're calling out to somebody, and the other person is leaving the vehicle, and he's saying, actually, you shouldn't say, "Oh, man, on your phone." Yeah. And he had the Aruch HaShulchan writes by Arichos. I wrote a long shtickle of his in number 3. First, he brings a shayla Pnei Yeshua. Pnei Yeshua is bothered. 1 second, if it's a mitzvah for you, how could we eat with someone else? He said, "The Hine Kvar Hiksha Echad Nehagdelim." The Pnei Yeshua manishtan mitzvahs nechana they call mitzvahs. Call mitzvahs. The Chol HaMitzvahs I'll call Echad Misrael Asis HaMitzvah. Everyone is obligated to do their mitzvah. Ubener Chanukah Havirak al Bala Bais Levadei. Whereas in Ner Chanukah we say that is issue basically the Balbais of Balabas of the house lights in there, everyone's eating. So he says Aval Amnan Be'emes Asi Shafir. It all fits nicely. The mitzvah is to see the neiris, to see them. Kishadokim. V'zeu ha'pirsumei nisa. That's the pirsumei nisa when you see it. And therefore, if you see the menorah, if you don't light yourself, you make the bracha.
It's a technical problem.
Yeah.
So on one hand, you can't see the menorah without someone lighting it for you.
And here, Charish would be Yotze. Charish would be Yotze if he sees it, according to this.
Okay. Fine, I remember. Fine, I also did a Shaita. I don't remember. Okay, stay there. Therefore, they were sacking. One person lights and everyone can be Yetzer with him because the mitzvah is to see it. But you can't completely compare the Shefer Megillah that one person does it and everyone is Yetzer from him. Why? When it comes to Shefer, the mitzvah is just to hear it, not to blow. The mitzvah is to hear it. What about Megillah? We say on Mikra Megillah, the mitzvah is to actually read it. He says Shemei Aka'ina. It's Shemei Aka'ina. So the fact that you hear him reading it says if you read it. But when it comes to Ner Chanukah, the mitzvah, the Ikar mitzvah is to light it. So you see, the mitzvah isn't just to see it, there's a mitzvah to light it. But there's also part of the mitzvah to see it. So sight to light it and sight to see it. And that's why even someone just saw it, even though he didn't light it, someone makes a bracha. So now, that's the whole Arichas being master. What's the Mahos of the mitzvah? There's 2 parts of the mitzvah. So now, why we're Chachamim Why were Chachamim make all that you could be Yetzer with someone else's Hadlaka and not yours? He says, since anyways with the Re'iyah you could be Yetzer with someone else's Hadlaka, therefore they are making that the actual mitzvah, the Hadlaka part of the mitzvah, you could also be Yetzer with someone else. Since already the Re'iyah part you could be Yetzer with someone else, therefore also the Hadlaka part you could.
You mentioned something interesting with Shas Nisim. So technically, every year you can go by the streets and look at everybody's menorah and say, how many brachas, Shas Nisim.
No, that bracha is only for someone who's not lighting on his own. For some reason he doesn't have a house, he won't be staying in a house.
No, I'm just saying to get, let's say, mega brachas, the add-on brachas, so by adding on, by going to all the houses.
No, but if you already made it by your own menorah, you don't make it for other people's menorahs. The bracha of Shas Nisim only for someone who's not going to be lighting menorah himself.
You cannot make an extra...
No, I don't think so.
Let's say somebody wants to light 3 times at night. They can't.
I'm not saying lighting. Shas Nisim that just mentioned seeing others. So you lit once, but you're walking by other dealers.
And
right, but the time
You say Shas Nisim.
Right, the Tana says that's only for someone who's not lighting menorah that night. Someone who's lighting menorah himself, he makes on his own menorah, and he doesn't let me say on other people's menorahs. Yeah. Now he ends off in the third paragraph, the Aruch HaShulchan. Therefore, they didn't make a chiv on every single person they should light menorah. Since there's also mitzvah to see it. There's no shama mitzvah chanukah ner ishu beisei. Koleimar. Hu bahadlaka. What's the ishu beisei? He lights it, but he beisei b're'iyah. They are yetzer through seeing it. Bahamahadrin. And what's the mitzvah? So now what's the mitzvah mahadrin? We say mahadrin is ner l'chol echad, that everyone lights on their own. So the achreinim and other shayla, all the achreinim bother with the chayris of bracha levatala. Meikar adin, it's the mitzvah is ner ishu beisei. You could be yetzer with the father. So how are you allowed to make the bracha? Yeah, how chayris bracha levatala? Everyone lights on their own. They all make a bracha l'chayris with balabas. So he says no. According to this whole hezber, he says meikar adin it's a chayvas laguf, and you should be doing it yourself. Elamai chacham or meikar could be yetzer with someone with other people. But in this case, since the chatchil, the mitzvah, the etzem shvida, you're doing it on your own. Therefore, if you want to do it on your own, zikr is not a bracha levatali. You're going to the meikar din the way it's supposed to be originally.
So mahadrin is not a bracha levatala. But then, of course, mahadrin is never a bracha levatala. So instead of just lighting one per person, each person is lighting how many you're off for the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no shallow mahadrin to mahadrin.
So you're not making it. The only shayla is that everyone's doing it on their own. So mahadim and mahadin aren't making any more brachas. It's just a different amount of candles. The shayla comes up is what if you only had one candle, you lit one candle, and then someone brought more candles. So that's how I think the Magen Avraham brings the maflikas up there. Could he make a bracha? The Ego talks about it.
One and then you bring in more.
You do, yeah. You did it. You thought you didn't have more, and then someone brought more. Can you make a bracha on the other one? So I think that's I think that Magen Avraham brings down a maflikas about that. But he ends off. So what? He says, "V'amahadin shegam b'hadlaka yiyah l'chol echad chelak ner l'chol echad." What? And the mahadin, they're mahadin that everyone should have their own candle. If it's possible that everyone's lighting on their own, it's just like all other mitzvahs, they should properly. Obviously, there's nothing better than this, and it's not a bracha levatala. Everyone can do it on their own. There's no issue. So it's interesting. It's not mamish so clear, but it's mashma that another interesting shayla that I was thinking about was what is the hiddur of the mahadrin? The ikar adin is ner isha beisei. So we have a hiddur mitzvah of mahadrin that everyone lights. So what is the hiddur mitzvah? Why is that a hiddur?
What's the Mehadrim and Amadri?
Because everybody themselves participating with their own guf.
Yeah, so chayre could be mitzvah boy yismi b'shulcha. You should be used on your own. You shouldn't be used with someone else. Also, especially in Smash, also shtickle from the Aruch HaShulchan, that the hiddur is that the fact that you are being yitzeh with, you're doing the mitzvah on your own. Ikar din, you should do it on your own, and now you're doing the way it's supposed to originally be done. So it sounds like that's the union of the hiddur that you do.
On the guf, so each individual guf rather
Yeah.
than narrow.
No. I would say more. Even though the mitzvah is not on the guf, this is Mehadrim and Amadri that you took upon yourself to do it on the guf.
This is not mahadrim. Mahadrim is that you add for each night. This is just mahadrim. Mahadrim is that everyone likes on their own. So Pasha is like the hiddur is that you're doing it on your own. But it's interesting, the Alter Rebbe, we don't have the Alter Rebbe on Hilchas Chanukah, but there's in the halachas of Neir Shabbos, there's a Kuntres Achrin over there, so there's a lot of the similarities in Hilchas Shabbos and Hilchas Chanukah and halachas Neiris. The Alter Rebbe over there is saying that there's no reason by Neir Shabbos that everyone should light on their own. One person lights and everyone doesn't need to light their own candles. What's his raya? The Alter Rebbe says you have a raya from Chanukah. Chanukah, the din is Ner Isha Beisa, and everyone's eating with him. There's a din of mahadrin that there's a hiddur for everyone to light on their own. The Alter Rebbe says that's different. That's mishum persumei nisa. That's because of persumei nisa.
And Shabbos, if everybody's lighting, all the ladies are lighting.
Single man also.
Right. So
whatever it is, more than one.
Okay, so that's taka shayla. I think that's taka.
That's not mahudra.
So the shayla is taka. Why do we do that? So why do we do that? Okay, that's a whole other discussion on Lakas Nevis. But you see the Alter Rebbe says there. What's the hiddur of the mahadrin? It's not that nisa b'yismi b'shluchi. It's not that. That's the word. The word is persumei nisa. You're being referred from the nes. How is it persumei nisa? I guess you have more people doing it, more people involved, more candles being lit. It stands out more. People see it more.
It's brighter. Shabbos.
It's brighter.
Well, what's the Indian in Shabbos? You want to have peace. You want to have more light. So the more light, the more left, right? That's the
Yeah.
More left is a brighter Shabbos.
Yeah. So
it's not al kasumani. So it's you feel more shalom, more Shabbos.
Yeah.
More light.
So this is
like this shul here is very lit.
So this is an interesting side. We have all these hiddurim, mahadrim. What is the hiddur? Is the hiddur? What is the hiddur? So Alter Rebbe says the hiddur of mahadrim is out pursuing nisa, and the hiddur from the Aruch HaShulchan and from other people, the hiddur is out that you're in the mitzvah bay. It's better to do it on your own than through someone else.
Of Kamena would be if you have few candles, not enough for Shabbos, not enough for Hanukkah candle. What you do? Some for Shabbos, some for menorah. Let's say tonight is the 5th night and it's Shabbos. You have 5 candles, so you should do only 5 candles for menorah and not for Shabbos, or should do for Shabbos and for menorah only 3.
Okay.
This is a mitzvah and this is a mitzvah. This is the goof and this is the goof. This is the bayis, this is the the goof.
And there's Besan Shayat comes in also with the mitzvah mahadrim in the mahadrim that you're misa if you add one candle for every night. So what's that hiddur from? So there's a Besan. So there's two different explanations of what's the hiddur. One shitta says that the hiddur is because connected yamim hayitzim, how many days came in. So when we're counting how many days the nest went for, so that's a vartin persuming nissa. It's a pirsum of the nest that the nest went on for so many days. But on the other hand, there's a second beer in the Gemara that the reason for it is because you want to go higher, you don't want to go lower. So according to that, it's not dafka, it's Indian for sumei nissa. It's an Indian of hiddur in the person of Vedas Adam. This is how you need to be manning yourself. So all these is different.
What's Beis Shammai's reason other than Beis Hillel's reason?
So there's two. It's machlekes. What's his reason? One reason. Right.
What's Beis Shammai's
Beis Shammai said, well, first reason explanation is given because yamim hanichnas. How many days are coming in? So there's 8, 9, 8, 7. So you go down lower. How many days are coming in?
How many more days
are left? Yeah. How many more days are coming left? And the second reason is because connected Parei Achag. Just like Parei Achag, they cover Musaf on Sukkot. You go down lower in numbers. So to here you go down lower in numbers. What's the kesher Chanukah on Parei Achag? Okay, that's what Marshall talks about.
8.
There's okay. So this is the Indian. This is the Chiyav. Yeah. So this is an interesting din. What's together of a so what's together of mitzvahs ner Chanukah? Is it a Chiyav? Is it a Chiyav on you for someone else? Is it mitzvah to light it? Is it the mitzvah to see it? So Achar Shulchan's mas very nice. There's two parts of the mitzvah. One part is to see it, to light, and this part of mitzvah to see. One part you can be Yisra with someone else, and one part you can be Yisra only on your own.
That's not.
There's so now the next Indian, the next discussion is lighting menorah. Lighting menorah if you're by someone else's house. Yeah, you're by a Hanukkah party. Could you light over there? Could you light by someone else's house if you're eating there?
Well, you're on.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to stay in your house tonight. You're going to somebody else. Should you light over there or wait till they come back?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where should you eat?
Where should you light?
So the Taz says that based on what the Rama said. So Shulchan Aruch says that even though you're eating by the Balabas, since you're sleeping in a different house, you have to light in the place where you sleep. But the Rama says, well, that was only back then because of Manas Ayin when they used to light outside. But nowadays that we light inside, you light in the place where you're eating. That's what the Rama says. So the Taz says some people, according to this, they were like the Takeh. The Rama says the Iker is Makim Achila. So when they would go to someone else's house to have for a Su'udah, and they ate over there, so they would light them and ate over there. The Taz says it's a mistake. It's a mistake. It's a toss. That's not what the Rama was talking about. That's not what the Rama was talking about. So the Iker, he says the Hadlaka has to be in a Makim that's your house, and you have to be staying there b'kviyas. Elamai, the Rama says in a place where you're staying there b'kviyas, what's the Iker in that place? Is the Iker in that place is the Makim where you sleep or the Makim where you eat? But a place where you're not sleeping, you're just coming there for one meal and you're leaving, Zikr, that's not because of Zikr, that's not called to your house and you can't light over there. Taz is number four. The fourth one Makim writes, the Rama says, the Bisman has the Yadik Makim Sha'echol, you light in the Makim Achila, that's the Iker place. Masha'en came to Misha Dira Be'ir, whereas someone who has a house in the city, and he's going outside of town, and he's eating by his friend. For sure, he should not light in his house and light in the place where he's eating. For sure, he needs to go back home and light at his house. That's where he's sleeping. And what if he's hungry and he wants to eat over there? What should he do? He has a taiva to eat. He doesn't want to leave there now. What could he do? He has to tell his family to light for him at home. He can't light at his friend's house. He has to light at home. This house where he's eating over there, he's just a guest over there. And his house and you light for him. He can't light where he is. Even according to Shulchan Aruch says later that Achsanoi is able to light together with the Balabas through this that he's Meshatet B'Pruto. He says, that's only a type of Achsanoi that's also going to be sleeping there. Whereas over here he's just eating every hour or two and then he's going back home. There's no svara to say that he should light over there and not in his house. So as if you're standing out on the street, then it's not shaykh light over there. You have to light in your house. You can't light it there.
Not by Chabad. Chabad, they're lighting all over the street.
All over the place.
Dafka in the street.
Yeah, but that's like Hadlakas Ner of Beis HaKnesses. It's in your personal minister. You're not being used to that some chiv. So that is the ends of Hagan She'itzik Satzman Adam Shebeshosha Ichlim Mesuda Yisrael Adam Acher Shalchim Acher Neresei, and they send that for their candles. V'dilkin Sham, they were later over there. The same Chimal Hagazu V'tos Hu B'Yod B'Yodam. It's a mistake. Ve'inam Vim Davar Zeh. You don't understand it. It's a toss.
If I'm invited to eat supper by somebody in Hanukkah, don't light menorah over there.
You can't light menorah over there. Yeah.
Light menorah in the house and then go to the.
And go to the Suda. That's right.
Yeah.
Actually, I have it tomorrow.
Who's calling me now?
There's and the next shy they talk about is so they're talking about what's the ikar makim achila or makim shena. So on one hand, so that Rama says the ikar is makim achila. So if in your house or it's mamash your house, inside the makim achila and the makim shchiva is both yours. So the iker's makim achila. The iker's makim achila. Elamai, if you're eating in someone else's house or it's not really your house, so the fact that you even there doesn't mean anything. Makim achila only helps if it actually belongs to you. So the shaila came up then is what about the answer in Lisha and other achinim? What's the din of for a bacher in yeshiva? Where should he light? He's sleeping in yeshiva. Should he light in the dormitory? Or should he light in the lunchroom?
In the kitchen.
Should he light in the lunchroom? So
Depends where the Pesumei Nisr is. Maybe in the lunchroom there won't be no Pesumei Nisr. For the rabbin.
Well, the Rambam says that you should light b'makim achila. The Rambam says you should light b'makim achila.
What's the reason for that?
Okay,
What's the wisdom behind that? What's the wisdom behind that? Why is that more preferred as opposed to?
What is it called? What is your house? Your house is a place where you eat, or your house is a place where you sleep?
A place where you sleep and eat, both.
But what is more your house like? Where you spend more time, or more like when you are guest by somebody, you just eat and then you go back to your house to sleep. So this is your house.
Yeah.
So the meal is not so critical.
But he's saying over here, the Ramah says that.
The Rambam says
He says you do it in machila. So what's
So this is a machila.
and what's the Indian about? Well, how does Pesumei Nisa plays into this whole thing? Let's say the machila, the people from the outside doesn't see it. As the more preferred places on
Right, so I'm saying
outside the door by the Pesach, that the people in the Shusarabim should see the neighbors being dolit. That's lit.
right. I'm saying Lapel. The story is why some people tried to change it now that we should light outside again. Lapel. I'm saying Lapel. I'm not sure most, but for sure by else from Natus to light it indoors. So now that we're lighted indoors, the Iker, the Rambam says the Iker is makim achila. You should light in the makim achila.
Once you have to really light indoors already.
Yeah. This how we light indoors. You light indoors in the room where you sleep, in the room where you eat. The Rambam says the Iker is makim where you eat. That's the Iker makim. I guess that's where you're.
There's no Indian of Pesumei Nisa for the rabbin to put in by window or near a window. Let's say you could put your menorah by the window, or you could put it by the doorway, or by the kitchen. Maybe no one doesn't see
Right,
the
so some people
menorah. So
practice-
what's the preference there? What is the?
Right. So I'm saying by the Vavish that we're not that we put in the doorway. That's our minhag
Oh,
inside the
because
house.
yeah.
Not in the door inside the house. Not the outside. Inside.
I mean, no one
inside
doesn't
the
see
house.
it from the outside.
Yeah, even though you don't see it in the house, you do that over the window.
What's going on? Oh, that's his hearing aid. He has it
There's
squeaking.
So this is the Ramasa. So Ramesha says even though we say the Ikras Makim Achila, but by the Makim Achila, by the Bachar Menador and the Yeshivas, that's not really his place. Makim Achila meaning it's your Makim Achila. It's a place for you to eat. Over there, it's a lunchroom. Everyone's over there. It's a Rishus Harabim. It's not a place that's designated for you.
Yeah, but
Says the
everyone's
Makim Shina is more of a place that's designated for you. He says that's some you should live in the dormitories. That's number 5.
We're in the lunchroom or in
No, in the
So
dormitory.
Ramesha says the dormitory.
dormitory means the bedroom.
Yeah, in the bedroom.
I see. She was doing the other way around. We passed by Mir and the other.
So
It's in the kitchen. Everyone has the.
yeah, because there's been plenty of fires and things that happen, and therefore they
Or they spend more
avoid
time in the kitchen than in the room.
So,
I'm just saying. You're just saying. I don't see it
like
being
number 5,
practiced so
Ramesha
much.
writes. Ramesha writes Hadlakas and Chanukah the Bachuri Yeshiva Misha in Bayis. So for a Bachurim in the Yeshiva, or someone doesn't have a house, so Misha Halach me basically the Bachurim.
Oh, you're reading from the other side, yeah.
Yeah.
Say it again. I looked.
Number 5, the Bachur Yeshiva is Misha in a Bayis doesn't have a house, and Misha Halach me basically the Bachurim, and he's staying with the Bachurim there, and staying by Yeshiva Gam Lalina, and he's also sleeping over there. Sheish Malkim Yuchad Alina Cheder Echad Eza Bachurim for a few Talmidim. Umakim Hachilu Hu Echad Lachol Bnei HaYeshiva, and Makim Hachilu they all eat together. So he said, "Tzrichen hadlik ner Chanukah b'cheder hashina." He says you should light in the dormitory. Shehu miyuchad la'elu shenitan lehem cheder zeh. So this is unique for them. Now on the other gami kaksas ba'ilus luha. They also have some ownership over it. V'lei b'cheder eichel, not in the room where they sleep. Shehu lekula.
No, the Eichel means the dining room.
Sorry. Not in the dining room. Shehu lekula. The ain't shamakim yuchad klal. There's no pasha. There's no makim yuchad for them. When we tzad chashash takonas tleika, look, this is true, but they might be a fire. Mechuyavim ne'ela shalon in madlikin shal nahat l'geir b'nei misha yishmer hayei misha yishmer l'machar akol yav. They're mechuyav to set a shemer who's going to stand there and watch the candles the whole time. So you say, right, so you only do by.
You can't blow it out after half an hour. You can blow it out after half an hour.
So there's the
Why do you have to wait 3-4 hours?
The Magen Avraham brings down the Bach that nowadays that we're noyeg not to use the neiros, not to use the candles, and not to be mechab them even after a half hour.
Not to do what?
Not to put out the neiros, not to use the shemen even after a half hour.
Well, not to what?
Not to put out the candles and not to.
Why not? Why not? Why? Because the Ikhi is Asher Tichla Regman and Shuk. Asher Tichla Regman and Shuk is a Chatzi Shah. It's half an hour.
But the Bach,
So what is the point? And let's have a doctor's appointment.
So the Bach has
I'm afraid of the whole house
so
being on fire.
the Bach has a very interesting order that says nowadays nowadays we like to according to Teitzvus you can't light menorah after a half hour after the Shir Shetichla Regel Menashuk, yeah. So nowadays if someone comes home late they light menorah with the bracha. How do you do that? So the Teitzvus says that since nowadays we don't light outdoors, the whole shear of Ashticha Regel Menashuk, the whole shear half an hour, that's not Gibizman Gemara when they used to light outdoors. Therefore, that was the shear how long people be awake. So therefore, it was only a half hour. But nowadays, that we light inside, and people are awake until later. So therefore, you can light even later as long as people are awake. So according to this, says the Bach, if so, the shear that you could only light menorah during this half hour, it doesn't apply anymore. So maybe the shear that the mitzvah, that you only put enough oil for a half hour, and after that half hour you can use the oil, maybe that also doesn't apply nowadays. Because since nowadays we light indoors, as much oil as you put in, the mitzvah goes on right there. So maybe there's no hagvala to the mitzvah now. Maybe there's no shear anymore. So say l'kula that if you put less than a shear, maybe you're still yetza. And also say the chumrah if you put more than a shear, is you still it's the mitzvah still going until it burns out.
And if I fill up the cup so much oil that is lighting till tomorrow, what should I do? I put it more than 24 hours.
The people do.
No, you have to shut it off and start again the next day.
Yeah, you have to make up something.
But you say you don't want to shut off the light, the candles.
That's what he's saying over there.
So I'm saying, yeah,
Well, why can't you? Why is it that you can't shut off the candles? If he's Yotze maker, then he's Yotze.
You mean
What will you
after
do? If a guy lives alone and he lights inside, he's on the 4th floor apartment, and he has to leave, and it's going to last for 3 hours, and he has to leave about an hour and a half later to a doctor's appointment, whatever it is, he has to go out, and he's afraid to leave it unattended because maybe you're a strafe.
Dangerous. Oh.
Dangerous. What do you do then?
That's different.
You have to. You're allowed to blow it out.
Okay, so
I wouldn't leave the house.
That's dangerous. That's
Dangerous. Yeah, I'm nervous.
But according to definitely is a chumrah the Magen Avraham brings down not to put it out. If you need to, there are kids running around and you need to move things away. So fine, to say that's another Indian.
It's also an Indian that once you light them, leave it there. Don't move it.
I know a house that burned down
Oh, there's a lot of tragedies with the Hanukkah.
8th day on Shabbos. They left to go to somebody's house.
In yeshiva in England last night.
Right, Reuben, right where you live.
Yeah, what?
A house burned down on East 4th, I think, East 3rd or East 4th.
I heard about it. It was a big fire. Every year, there's always a
And
strife.
my friend's
Borough
singer,
Park here. Well,
they were the tenants, but they weren't destroyed because he's a very holy, very heavy-duty holy guy. They were able to recover.
Yes, let's go right. It's that's Indian Bachman Yeshiva. So Misha says the Ikar didn't they light in the dormitories, but the pale most yeshivas are not anything like that.
I don't see it though.
So the next thing, what is someone who's not in a house? Someone doesn't have a house. Is he chayv light menorah? He's traveling. He's out on the road. He's walking. He's camping. He's in chayv light menorah. If he doesn't have a tent. So Ramesh says when he says he's potter, such a person is potter from lighting menorah.
Onus Rachman Pater.
What?
Onus
He says the shear is the mitzvah is not isha basi. Someone doesn't have a house, is not chayiv. You're chayiv to light the menorah in your house. You don't have a house, and you're not in a house. You're potter from lighting. What's this driving?
Does Beitol mean? The question is, does Beitol mean your house or your household? Now in the Torah, about Beitol can just as well mean out your household, like Beit Levi or Beit Aharon.
In a chinami, that is the pasha taicha of Beisei, but he brings a rai. Ramesh actually brings a rai from Rashi. Rashi says that someone the birchas arei. Someone who sees a menorah, he makes a bracha. Shasin l'avsinu. Rashi says, for example, someone who is traveling on a boat. Someone's traveling on a boat, that's when he makes a bracha. And the Taz says, that this bracha is only if someone wasn't going to light the menorah that night. So Rashi says, you see from Rashi, that you see from this, that what's the reason that this person, why would this person not light menorah? Because he was sitting on a boat, he wasn't sitting in the house. He didn't have a roof over his head. That's why he's pater from lighting menorah.
People on the boat light menorah.
He says there's a roof, there's a boat without a roof. He says number 6, Reisha writes, Misha inlay bayis klav yashin b'chutz. And number 6, v'kagoyin shnimsa b'midbaris in the desert. The gam kishayir shaloi hay b'beisi v'yir b'derech kol halayla. Like now he's not in his house and he's going to be out all night long. Ve'inlay misha yadik b'beisi. And there's no one in his house to light for him. Mashma Mirashi in Shabbos Tav Gimel Amar Aleph Dimaskal Reya Shekasa Shebrichas Eriya Hu Kishu Yeshiv Sfino. Now, who makes a bracha when they just see the menorah? Someone's on the boat. Vataz v'sim tavesh ayin vav Sifkat and Gimel writes Shehu Dafke Shali Yadi Kol Halayla. It's not if you're not lighting all night long. Ve'im hayachayev lahadlik af b'chutz u'b'sfina. And if Yitake would have been chayev to light even on a boat, my time in the Madlik Sham, so why didn't he light over there? Why is he making berachas harayah? He says, "Oh, shalaching mashma she'enu yisada einis." It's not the reason that lie on the boat. It's not just because he wasn't able to. El mishum she'af she'ikar neiris leika chiyuv shlei b'vayis. Even though he has candles with him on the boat and technically could light menorah on the boat, but there's no chiyuv to light on a boat. The chiyuv is to light in a house. If you're not in a house, you don't light menorah. Yeah. So
Why is the boat not like a house?
there's no roof. There's no covering.
Let's see, there is a covering.
Yeah. So if there's a covering, yeah. Well, he writes over there that.
You're talking about a boat without no canopy on it.
Yeah, he writes that clearly, you know.
There was a story. Lubavitcher was giving menorahs on an island where all the boats come, like Jamaica Island.
Yeah.
So you have like a cruise boat coming, right? So he's standing over there with a lot of bochim and they're giving a lot of menorahs because thousands of people coming, like 5,000 people coming out from the boat in one shot.
Mm-hmm.
And you have like 5-6 boats coming. So it's busy like crazy. And then one of the kids that took a menorah told his father, I wanted to light the menorah in the dining room in the boat. He said, no, we'll do it in the room. He said, no, I want that. He said, no, people are going to look. He said, no, I want it. So he put the menorah, he lighted it. Somebody else put his menorah also. Another one. Before you know, it's like 50 menorahs, you know, the whole it is, because so many Jewish people there. What up for some minutes?
On the boat.
On the boat?
Yeah.
Very nice. So he goes, so that's a shy son doesn't have a house. The next shy comes up, someone asked the Marsham, if he's traveling on a train overnight, could he light menorah on the train? So their trains are a little bit different. I think they used to have their own private rooms on the train, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a little
Sleeper.
Overnight train.
Right.
I mean, a sleeper.
You have like a cabinet, a small
You
cabinet.
have a little cabin.
Little cabin.
You have a table.
So the Marsham, so the Shaims and Marsham, wrote him, even though it's not clear in the Pesachim, the Shai isn't discussed clearly in Gavadim Pesachim. So Belcheda, since you have your own room and you paid for it, so that's considered right now. Since this is where you're staying now and you have your room and you paid for it, this is considered your house and you can light over there. Marsham is number 7. He says, "L'chuvas mechtavim yein beis de Chanukah im mutar lahadik ner Chanukah al haban." Could you write a claim on a train? Lo yimatzasi adavar mavur. I didn't find it clearly. Afal halo yimisha shilim ba'ad kol halaylo havik asachal beis dira la'achal lishayin. But is it not the din that someone who paid for the night, paid for the room for the night, and he rented himself a place to eat and to sleep, that he's chayav to light in his Chanukah over there? Rashi said was sitting on a boat, he's pater from lighting. He's talking about a boat which was uncovered. There was no roof over his head. So there's no roof over his head, the wind is blowing, it's not considered a bias. But if you have walls and you have a roof and the wind is blowing at you, then it's considered a bias and you can light over there. Yeah, it's moving and it's not like it's one place. It says, we're talking for something with the mitzvahs presuming this, so we never find such a din that it has to be kavua one place and can't be moving. Who says your house can't be moving? For an
You have a, what is it called? Like a minivan that this is the whole house. No, what is it called? A caravan.
Mobile home.
Mobile home.
Mobile home, yeah.
It's actually a house.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
in a way.
So
So we
you
have to
should
consume
light.
a nisa
Mhm.
in the train.
For you. For you.
For
You should
yourself.
see the menorah.
Oh,
Even for yourself.
You
For
have
some
a
uses for
that's
yourself as
also
well.
consuming nisa.
Just don't try to do it on a plane.
On a
Yeah.
plane, you can start a fire there.
So if you're on a bus, so if you're on a bus or a subway, which is more public, you don't have your own room, or if you're on the airplane, could you be lighting over there? Saying one side they're going to let you, but if you get away with it, if they will let you, are you going to be Yitzah? So so first of all, I'm saying on a plane or something, you rented a seat, so you got it. What if you didn't rent for
You
it?
can't do it on a
Hmm?
plane.
There's not a chance.
There is no way.
Not
on
a
plane.
chance. Forget it.
Yeah,
You can't smoke on a plane.
Right.
How can you light a fire on a plane? Wouldn't work.
and so,
When is the last time you fly?
When was it? 50 years ago?
You can't even smoke in the airport anymore. Yeah.
You can't.
and
It
so
sets
this,
off a smoke alarm or a fire alarm.
so this is the din. Yeah. So the next shayla comes. Another similar shayla came up, and the Sefer Chivas Hadar discussing on Chanukah. So he had a shayla about Bachrim who were traveling to Chasan on Chanukah. So they left before Shkia, before this man Makkah, and they're leaving right after the Chasanah, and it's a long drive, and they're getting back in the morning. They're getting back in the morning when it's too late to light. So what should they do? So he gives a few options to them. In number 8 he writes, he says, Chavuras Bachrim Sheniklu Chasana, they're traveling to the Chasan B'Medina Acheres, or the Chayki Meha Yeshiva, V'lei Hadlika B'Yeshiva, there's no light in Yeshiva, there's only light for them. He says, "V'anili Yistaiti Sheyesh Kama Takanis Bachrim Meila." They have 3 options. Harishin Nishin Kaidan, the best option is, Im Mechelu Nitzei Be'ir Shabai HaChasana. If they can find in a city, town where they're by the Chasana, Misha Imid Lahadlik Neis Chanukah, someone who can light candles over there, Yechul Sham Habachrim Yishtatu V'Shem and Kedin Achsenoi. If it could be considered like a guest in the light over there, V'nira Sheinu Chayavim La'echo Sham V'yatsu B'Hadlakas Balabais. And they don't even need to eat over there. They can create with the balabais over there. Yeah, interesting. As a chiddush, he says if you're in a different town, you can find the balabas who's going to be lighting there and go be with him. The Taz said earlier that if you're just eating by a Hanukkah party by someone else, you can't be Yitzah. So how can you see such a word? So the chayra of the word he's trying to say is that that's only talking about if you have a different house. You have a different house, you're going to be sleeping over there, and over here you're only eating. So this isn't your Iker house. Your Iker house is over there. But over here, these Bachrim, they have no house. They're not staying. They have no. So right now they're over here. So right now they're over here. They're in a house and they're guests over here. So they can light over there. They don't have any other Iker place they're going to be staying. Right now they're over here. So the chayra of Yimshtata. So the chayra, that's the first part he's saying. The second part, the second option he gives is. The second option he gives is Beis. If they can't find someone to light over there, one of them shall light in the hall of the chasana, and he shall light for everyone. The other chaver should have in mind to be over there.
So how would it be Yotze? It's not their house.
So it's not their house. So what's the mile of this?
Yeah.
So it's the same verse. Since they don't have a house right now, this is the Iker place. This is the main place that they are.
But they're
right
not
now.
sleeping there.
They're not sleeping by the other person's house either. They don't have any place they're going to be sleeping currently. Currently, this is.
So they don't have a house. They're in the potter or in this Rachman Patre. That's it. But then I'm okay.
He's giving you a how to light menorah.
So he's right.
Yeah, but he says his criteria is the gather of the halach is you have to light in your house. Why is this
the
not
house in the hall?
It's not as the house. They don't sleep there. Oh, they eat there.
That's his
So
place now.
But he wants to say that even if they're not eating over there, right? He says by the other person's house. He goes to the other person's house and he eats with them even if they're not eating over there.
By the way,
Well,
I remember I went to a friend's thing. It fell during Hanukkah. They lit the Hanukkah candles in the wedding hall.
So that's what he's writing over here. That's just like an option. It's not your house. So he wants to argue that they're considered like a guest, the achsanai. And a guest collide right now. They're currently a guest over here, and this is where they are currently. So therefore, they collide over there.
Yeah, maybe I'm going to a wedding on Thursday.
Yes,
and
yes,
I'm going to bring a menorah.
But if you're sleeping somewhere else and you have to light in the place where you're staying, where are you going to be sleeping?
You know, if I come back here, it'll be very, very late.
That's what we're
I
talking
don't know.
about.
Right, so they're talking about a case they were traveling overnight and they didn't have any place they were staying.
Well,
they left.
okay,
The
the wedding is in Lakewood, and I hope to get back here. Should I then not light there?
If you're going to come back at a time when you could light, then you should light over here.
Well, till what time can I light?
4 o'clock in the morning.
If it's past Chatzais, if there's someone else awake, then you can light. So as long as there's someone else awake,
Because
then
you
I
don't
can
light?
Yeah.
Oh,
as long as there's someone else awake.
No, most of them might be in doing the video for the time until 1 or 2 o'clock.
Well, David, what time are you leaving? If you're leaving after Pagamincha, you can light then.
Leaving 4:30. Done.
I'll bring it just
Friday, we're gonna be lighting 4:45, you can light
Yeah.
maybe. Even maybe before. After right by Pagamincha, you can
By
light.
3:30 you could light already.
Right.
that early.
Yeah.
In,
But it's not
in 770 they light 3:30.
Yeah, but
There has to be enough oil to last.
There's a lot of oil.
There's gotta be enough to light.
Enough oil. Because
Yeah.
Chatzis says Chavim.
Right. And there's going. So this is the second best option. What's the Maila? Why is this any different? Why is this any different than lighting by the Balabas's house?
3:36.
But
Why-
don't leave it unattended. That's
well, it just has to stay lit for a half an hour after Shkia.
after Chatzai.
Yes,
And-
well, L'chayra-
After 6.
What?
After Tzeit.
L'chayra, why is this any better than lighting by Balabas's house? Why is the first option any better than the second one? So I'm not sure. Maybe it's specific about this then. Chashash brachel v'atala. V'yetzer someone who's lighting anyway. You save yourself any issues. Even by the second, even by the whole, he doesn't say they should light on themselves. He says that one person should light, then they'll be yetzer with him. Because he's not so sure about this is the best eitzah. And number 3 says, "Even like also came yad kishala kishayalu la'atabas yadik acham mehem b'shlichus kulam canal." And if not, as soon as they get on the bus, one of them shall light b'shlichus all of them. And like we said before, al pisvas mar sham el b'msilas habarzel. Just like you wrote by before that on the train you can light. Say so too on the bus you can also light.
Bus you can light. Where you light on a bus?
Where are you gonna light? Oh, you hold it on your lap. I don't know.
Depends what type of bus.
If you're lighting candles, it'll be a lot easier. If you're lighting oil on a bus, I don't know. It might not turn out too well. And there's
I'm sure they're talking about a coach bus.
what will be the difference if the coach bus?
Because the coach bus, there will be a place to put the menorah.
Bunch of police.
Would be? Not in the buses I'm familiar with.
No,
Coach bus?
it'll fall off. It shakes.
No,
It's
but
dangerous.
what I'm saying is,
Damn
many times these coach buses have these small trays.
Oh, you mean if it's like an airplane?
out.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
So you could put the menorah on.
Be like Chabad, put the menorah on the top and the roof.
On the roof.
That's it. Go up there and we'll see.
Electricity's good. Electric menorah is good. But what's the position?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And there's the other side that comes up is what happens if you're by your house and you're going to be leaving. You're going to be lighting out right after Zman Hadlaka to go away to your
You don't
in-laws.
have half an hour to stay by menorah.
Yeah, no, you have half hour. You're going to stay. You're going to light. You're leaving 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock. You're leaving to your in-laws. So on one hand, what's your ikar vayis? Is it over here where you are now, or is it where you're going to? Or let's switch it. The bigger question is if you're let's say you're by your in-laws for Chanukah, and you're leaving in the middle of Chanukah, so you're leaving at 6. So Zman Hadlaka, you're light already at 4:30, and you're leaving later. So where should you light? Is it still considered your house? You were there for the past few days. You slept there and you ate there, so you're lighting there until now. So maybe you can light there now also. But on the other hand, now you're leaving, so it's not going to be your house anymore after you leave, because tonight you're not going to be sleeping there. So the Chayyim argue about this. Nissen Karelitz says that you should light in your house. If you're coming home later, you should light in your house. And if you're going to come home too late, if you have to light in the place by your in-laws, so you should try to come home only after this man Hadlaka, because maybe you should light there as well. So that's the shayla. So some Achreinim say that. So a lot of some Achreinim say that it's better you should wait till you get home and light over there. And Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, the Sefer Shlomo Zalman Auerbach says that no, it's not an issue. Since this was your house until now, until it was their house until now, and you live over here. So it's still your house even afterwards, but just you should stay. He says you should stay a half hour after you light the candles. You should stay there. You shouldn't leave right away. That's one shaila. And the other shaila, if you have harkeret, that's an easier shaila. What if you're by your house now, but you're going to be leaving after this man hadlaka to your in-laws? So there it's a lot more easier because this house is taka your house, and even though you're leaving, you're just going to visit. But this house, taka is your house, and it's always going to be your house. So there's a lot more makel, even more achayin and more mida. That it's fine to light in your house, even though you're going to leave right afterwards.
So what you're saying is that there's no need to light on your in-laws or parents or whoever's house you're going to. As long as you light candles in your house, you wait the half an hour, you're fine.
Yeah. But if it's the other way around, you're by your in-laws and you're leaving from your in-laws, so there they argue about what should you light by your in-laws and then leave, or should you first go home and then light in your house?
You mean to say, you go to your in-laws and then not light at your in-laws, light at your home.
In a case where you're leaving from your in-laws.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they argue about.
So what does Chabad hold? Does Chabad hold to light by your in-laws or to light home?
It's not a Chabad question. It's not. We don't have Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch on these halachas, so it's not really a Chabad. It's a halacha question.
Okay.
I know some Chabad Rabbanim so that you should light by. You should wait till you get home, light at your house.
All right.
If you go to any airport, you have Lubavitcher people stay with the menorah on the table and give people a chance to light before the flight.
Oh, so the Shai writes, that's also Shai. Could you light in the airport? So based on what he wants to write in Chivas Adar, that you can light the place since you're staying there overnight and that's where you are and you have a roof over your head, you have a shus to be there. So according to what he says, you should light in the airport too.
Otherwise, you'll be on a flight and you're not going to light at all. So better to do this than.
Right now, this is where you're staying. You don't have any other house where you're going to be for the night. You're going to be traveling, so you can light over here. You're in the house. You can light here.
Yeah, because it's not so safe to light on the airplane.
Right.
It wouldn't allow you to do
You're
it.
not allowed to.
Yeah.
It wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
You'd be arrested.
Someone.
Your FBI will be waiting for you on the airport.
Yeah.
So the
Where
other.
who?
So another.
Arrested.
They're arrested. Throw you out.
Another interesting
Put in jail
shayla.
for
Someone
that.
told me that they're doing Mivsayim in a hospital. Adlakas near Chanukah.
Yeah.
So how do they do it?
With electric, they do it.
So
you have
this
oxygen.
place they don't let the candles burn there for too long, but they have a special glass, like a fireproof glass. You light it inside over there, light them there in there, and they will let it be there for 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, they'll put it out, and then they will go to the next person to light when they were with them.
If you're allowed to or not.
So someone told me that this is how they did it in a hospital. That this is what they were told to do. So I was saying, what's the shayla over there? I was saying there's a few interesting shaylas. First of all, I was saying it needs to burn for Shir Zman.
Yes.
And also, are you allowed to put it out? So some achayim say that the whole shir, like we said before, the whole shir half an hour only applies to people who are lighting outdoors. But nowadays that we light indoors, could be we don't have the whole shir, we don't have the shir anymore. So that's one svara. So that's one svara. Maybe why it's okay. I look at this in the other issue.
If it's kofsa and zokala, it could be 10 minutes. Doesn't have to be half an hour.
And
we pass the kofsa and zokala. If
Right,
it happened to be
but
that
the
it blew
shayla-
out, right? So
But the shayla is, what if you lit in a place where you knew it was going to blow out? It wasn't possible to stay lit.
it didn't have the potential, you say.
Yeah, so over there, I think the din is
You won't be
is
yotzei then.
zakukla. I think the din is you do need to light it. That you do need to relight it
Oh, you do?
with the bracha, without a bracha. Yeah, I don't remember. And
They don't allow in the house because there's the oxygen. They have oxygen lines that
I-
go
by
into
the
the
way,
bedroom. Very dangerous. Very dangerous to do that.
They do like
Oxygen,
on
you
the
get
fourth floor.
you get a strafe like crazy.
So what
Yes.
they do,
Blow up.
what
and
they do,
explosion.
they do in the hospital, like in the lobby, in the front lobby, dedicate a corner with a table, and anybody with one come downstairs, light over there, and then you could go back.
Not in the room. The room they don't allow. It's
No,
very
not in the room.
dangerous.
Not in the room.
Also
Not in the
concerned
room.
Because it's
about-
the
fourth
oxygen.
floor, yeah.
They're afraid of the
lobby.
oxygen.
In New
Exactly.
York, they have a
You know what
special
oxygen can do? That can blow
Very
them.
dangerous.
medicine room
Terrible.
where they have
Blow a fire like crazy.
food
What?
and various stories
Be too much.
where I'm sure they have a also. I went to visit my father-in-law and my father in the hospital. My father-in-law was in Montefiore, and they had a chesed room. We weren't there over Hanukkah time, but I'll bet you over Hanukkah, that's probably where they go to light the menorah.
Someone, so this stuff, people asking what they should do there in the hospital. So this guy, if they light in the room, he said if they light in the room for a few minutes and then it's going to get put out, so he said do that without a bracha. And he said another person, another shy someone asked was if they should light in, should they light in the shul or in the other room in the hospital, or should they light with the other option is to have your husband or whoever family you have at home to light for you, like the din of Amsanai, some lights in for your house, you yetzer with them. So this is what I said, they should be yetzer with their family at home, and then we're just to see. There's we said before that you're supposed to see the Hanukkah.
Light it for 5 minutes
so
to
they
see.
they should go to lunchroom, see whoever's lighting the night over there, and be yetzer with them. Be yetzer with their bracha. That's all.
Shkoyach.
Yeah.
You should just